Welcome to Strictly Boxing with Derek Poppy Roll man. Thank you for joining my channel, man. I got a really good show today. A little different from normal podcasts, but it's going to be a very good show, man. Listen, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, man, before we get started, man, I appreciate it, man. If you subscribe to the channel, if you like the channel as we go on, man, I appreciate you. Hit the thumbs up, man. Most important, though, man, I really want to know what you got to say if you participation in what we're going to talk about today. Now, what came about this show topic today, I think it's the topic I'm going to do is it's going to be disciplined fighters versus talented fighters. Yeah. I think that's a good topic from where my mind is. Now, where I got this topic from, I was telling some friends of mine in the gym yesterday about some experiences I had in a training camp. One time, I was up in a training camp out in Denora, Pennsylvania, out there, California, Pennsylvania. I didn't even know there had a city named Pennsylvania. Named California and Pennsylvania, but there is a city, California, Pennsylvania, out there in the Pittsburgh area. I had to fly into Pittsburgh. But this training camp that I was in was first time in training camp. I'm a young kid, 18 years old, getting ready to prepare for my first fight in Madison Square Garden. And I'm in training camp, and the training camp is up in the mountains and the hills, and there's, wolves and animals and all kinds of stuff around this training camp. Pretty much, though, because it was a wintertime, it was kind of like the movie Rocky IV when they went to Russia. The snow and up to your knees, and it was a crazy training camp, man. But it was a good experience, man. 18 years old, I was a young kid. Biggest fighter right now was like Mike Tyson around this time. Mike Tyson was heavyweight champ or about to be heavyweight champ or something like that. But there was a fighter in the camp that was just such talented, hard working. Never saw a boxer working so hard, man. His name was Smoking Burt Cooper. Yeah, Burt Cooper out of Philadelphia. And they named him Smoking Burt Cooper, I think, after Smoking Joe Frazier. Because Burt Cooper wasn't nobody to play with, man. He was a serious fighter, man. And I watched him, man. I watched Burt Cooper train hard, and he trained so hard and so just hard working, the constant high level training, man. I was like, wow, this kid is serious. And I bumped into him. I said, man, this guy right here, this guy must gonna be the dude he's gonna be the dude that's gonna beat Mike Tyson, because this dude is like a brick wall. But I noticed I noticed after every training session, he was sitting out up in a little pickup, and he had to drink his little 40. Got a little 40-year-old gold, whatever it was. That's what he did, He trained hard, but he had to have his 40. So now what I was telling everybody about this, now this story that I'm telling you about is true story, true facts of what really happened, right? And I'm going to tell you about this story, when this story is the reason why we're going to do this topic on discipline versus talent fighters. So one night, all the training camp was going to Milwaukee because one of the guys training in the camp was fighting. So they're going to leave me and Burt Cooper in the training camp. All right, my first time really away for, this length of time. I'm up in the mountains. I'm 18 years old, and Burt Cooper getting dressed about 11 o'clock at night, getting ready to leave. And where you going? We up in the mountains. We up in the woods and everything. Like, yo, man, where you going? He said, I'll be back. Where you going, man? We up in nowhere. We in no man's land. Where we going? He said, yo, man. I said, you ain't leaving me here by myself. He said, well, get your ass up and come on in. I was like, yo, man, you can't leave me. He said, man, you better get your ass up and come on if you coming. I got up, went with him. We smoked with Burt Cooper. Burt Cooper was my man. We got pretty cool at show. And we got to walk down this dark hill. It's a long walk, man. We got to walk with our hands in front of our face so we don't walk into nothing. And you got to be very careful you don't walk over the cliff, because it was way up in the mountains. At the bottom of the cliff, though, was a bar. So we go in the bar, and Burt Cooper, hey, everybody, Burt. Everybody love Burt. Everybody is here, he drinking, he having fun. he partying. You know, I was with him, 18 young kid up in training camp, hanging out with Burt Cooper. Made me feel kind of good, though. I'm still with Burt Cooper. He was a known fighter, up and coming. I think he was light heavy at the time. Could have been heavyweight, though. One of the guys gave us a ride back up the top of the hill about 2 o'clock in the morning. And that was that night. So this topic got me really thinking about, this story got me really thinking about this topic, right? So I'm thinking Burt Cooper was such a good, hard-working fighter, man. Talented, strong, hard. He had the complete package. But he wasn't that disciplined. He liked to drink. He liked what he drinking. He liked what he liked to do. And that's what it is, you know. And there's a lot of fighters on that level. There's a lot of fighters, man, that's very, very talented, man, that makes it to being world champion. You know, some of them develop this lifestyle after they get the money and the fame and the glory. But some people believe that that's somehow all the time in them. You know, that some people they're naturally good, but they like the life. They like the life of the money, the drugs, the women, the girls. They like the lifestyle of that mess, you know. And that lifestyle don't last. And this is a very important topic for the young up-and-coming athletes. This is the reason why I want to do this topic so good, because these fighters and other athletes as well, but specifically the fighters, man, that get that hunger and want to fight and have that skill and that talent, start making money. Now their interest changed a little bit. They're not really dedicated and disciplined. You know, now that means they don't last. They never go as far as they could go. You know, I mean, could you imagine if these talented, gifted fighters really was dedicated and committed? How long of a life they would last? How much more they will. So I made like a little list. Okay, now I made a little list of some of the guys that I thought just had a little difference with the lifestyle. You know, like Wilfredo Benitez to me was one of the best fighters, man. But that lifestyle. Now, my favorite fighter growing up and my manager, you know, he always got on me. But man, he'd choose somebody else better than that. He'd choose somebody else better than that. Well, man, I like the Hector Camacho, man. I was a Camacho fan. I love the flag, the swag, the southpaw, the noise he make. But he had problems, man. He had problems with the lifestyle. He liked the cocaine. He liked the drugs. He changed. You know, like even Gomez, man. Gomez was so talented, man. He was such a good fighter, man. A lot of the Puerto Rican fighters fall to this right here. You know, Gomez. You know, his last big fight he really had was like his big fight that he really had at his top of his game was at 26 years old when he beat. He beat Laporte. He looked it good. He looked it good beating Laporte. But that lifestyle, man, you know, the drugs, to gain all the weight, lose all the weight, you know, it's a difference, man, how far you really go in this game. It's a difference to who's for real and who's not for real, you know. Even Chavez, man, you know, he had chances where he changed. He had a great career. Don't get me wrong. He had a great career. But, you know, that lifestyle, man, still, it affects them, man. It affects them a long time. Another one of my favorite who constantly up and down the weight class was Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran, to me, never, ever would have been beat as a lightweight, man. There was nobody better than Roberto Duran as far as skills and talent in the ring to me. But it's the lifestyle. It's the lifestyles. You're not disciplined. He's not a disciplined fighter. He'll be fighting 147 and going up to 200 pounds. And this is what the young fighters was trying to copy these days, man. Look, going up and down, man, it wears and tears on the body. It's not a consistent thing, you know? Like another great fighter I thought was very skillful, just wasn't gifted, was James Toney. James Toney, gaining all this weight, you know, not a disciplined fighter, lifestyle's changing. And of course, everybody, our favorite was Mike Tyson. Now, he did great things, don't get me wrong. But could you imagine what Mike Tyson would have done or been able to accomplish if he was a disciplined, dedicated fighter to his craft and his sport? And this is the reason why I took Usyk over Fury. And it showed, as good as Fury is, as good as he was, he's just not that committed to his craft. He just not committed, Like Aaron Pryor, one of the greatest of all times to me, man. These fighters, can you imagine if these fighters would have been living that lifestyle as of an athlete or as a pro? What do you think it is, man? What do you think it is that causes these fighters to change, man? To change. They change and now they want to hang out and be with the rappers and like what is the difference? What happened? I mean, like, if you compare them to guys that didn't live that lifestyle, like, of course, we got to go with the ultimate, the infamous Floyd Mayweather, man, committed to his craft. You ain't hearing about it. Even today, I don't know about him out drinking and hanging out, and maybe I don't just don't hear about it, but he was so committed to his craft. This is why he's always in shape. This is why he was able to have so much success in the sport. It was because he was committed. He was committed to his craft. The dedication and the discipline, man, means a lot. These guys, all right, okay. Now there are such things. Let me explain to you, right? There is a such thing where there is a such thing where you can play when you play, but when you're training for a fight, you training for a fight. I got you. True stuff. Like, you can be messing around, you might dibble and dabble a little bit, but when training time come, I'm back, I'm locked down, I'm disciplined, and you last a little longer. You last a little longer in that case. You last a little longer. That's a good look. That's a good look. Evander Holyfield. Did you see this guy ever come in the ring not in shape? You ever hear about this guy doing it? I've never heard of anything. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong with this. But these is guys that was committed. The lifestyle was committed. The lifestyle of a professional boxing champion, how he lived, how he ate, how he trained, how he was conditioned. It's different, man, from the guys who just want to play. It's going to come a time where you got to really go up against some guys that's committed. And the ones that's disciplined, it will show. Larry Holmes is another one. Larry Holmes committed. You've never seen Larry Holmes not come in the ring and not be prepared, Tommy Hearns, the hitman, he took this thing serious. I don't know after boxing or what he got into or what happened to him, but you ain't hear about Tommy Hearns not being trained, not being conditioned, out messing around when it's time to fight, man. I'm telling you. And my favorite, I know I said a few of them my favorite, but this really is my favorite. The marvelous Marvin Hagler, man. He is for real. He was in shape all the time. He trained hard. He ain't messing around. None of that's going on. These is the disciplined fighters that goes far. And the other fighters that's not disciplined, although they make huge success in boxing, they could have done so much more, man. They just could have done so much more. Another great one to me, man, was Sugar Ray Leonard, man. I had heard rumors about Sugar Ray Leonard, sniffing coke and getting high, but that must have been, after his career, or maybe he was one of those that could play when he played. but you ain't never see him not in shape. He ain't gaining 50 pounds trying to get back in shape. And it showed, man. It showed with his success in the ring. It showed with his, how he conducted himself. And it shows how he is now mentally and physically. You know what I mean? Salvador Sanchez, committed, dedicated. Pedrosa, committed, dedicated. And nobody was more committed and dedicated than Muhammad Ali. There's a difference in this fight game, man. There's a difference between these fighters. And this is why, and what I'm talking about this because, you got fighters coming up, and you got some fighters that just go along and playing boxers, but then you get in there with a Terrence Crawford, and when you seen Crawford and Spence, you was able to see who was for real. And who going along with this thing right here for play? You live in a certain lifestyle and you ain't. Terrence Crawford, he always a fighter. He's always a champ. He's always training. I could play a little bit. And this is the difference between these type of fighters. Now you talk about Canelo, as far as I know. Canelo was another disciplined fighter, who able to go far because they're disciplined. Now my manager told me, when you finish fighting, all that'll still be there. The women will be there, the drugs will be there, the alcohol will be there, everything will be there. You want to live that life, it'll be there. It'll be there. But while you're fighting and while you're training, live that lifestyle of an athlete. Wake up every morning, get your road work in, discipline yourself. This is necessary. This is the difference between the big fighters, man, who win those big fights. Yeah, I know you say, yeah, but these fighters, they was very successful and they played the game, but their careers were short. The careers didn't last too long. The money didn't last because, you got a drug problem, swinging, it ain't going to last. I'm telling you, you look at Usyk fights and Fury. Fury got all the physical advantages, but Usyk is dedicated. He is committed. This is what he do. And although Fury put up a good fight, you could tell his body getting wear and tear in it because he play hard. That's the problem. The disciplined fighters, that's for real. And then you get these fighters that trying to play both sides of the fence. I worked in the prison system, man, and it was, you get the guys that want to go to school and want to work and they want to do right, but they still want to dibble dabble. They still want to hustle a little bit, still want to do what they do. So me as the counselor, I always say, look, man, it's like oil and water, man. It don't mix. You can't play both sides of the fence. Look, while you're fighting, fight. Train, dedicate, discipline. When you finish and you done, then you go play all you want to play. Man, listen, this is Derek Poppy rolling at Strictly Boxing. Let me know what you think about the channel. Let me know what you think about the topic we're talking about. I appreciate your comments on it. Give me the thumbs up if you like what we're talking about. Derek Poppy rolling, Strictly Boxing. Peace.